that. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that, like that. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that. Yeah. Hey, little mama, yeah, I like it when you back it up. Bring it a little closer, bend it over, let me smack it up. I know you ain't acting, baby girl, but you acting up. Now let me show you something spectacular. I know it's been a while you had a night like this, but you were never in your life that had no pipe like this. You like that shit? Give in, baby, don't fight that shit. Now let me put it in your mouth, but don't you bite that shit. Nah, I'm just playing this all games unless you really with it. The way you looking in the dress, girl, you could really get it. Quit that talking, you can show me if you really with it. You my little devil, cause you really seen it. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that, like that. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that, like that. I like the way she move when she move like that, like that. Yeah. Like I said, you already know what it is. It's phenomenal. And we do it like that.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow, it's MSB production. Tell me, say she no feel let me do. Every night and day she say she no feel do. Yeah. Tell me, say she no feel let me do. Every night and day she say she no feel do. Yeah. Baby girl, Gucci, Prada, loving, baby girl, all day for you. Yeah. Baby girl, Gucci, Prada, loving, Fendi, girl, all day for you. Yeah. Oh baby, what can I do to make you smile? Many girls there, but now you I choose. Yeah. Too many fights me, I go through for you, yeah. Brass man say make I do. Me I want do Maradu. Me I do Faraday. Catching you far away. Brass man say make I do. Me I want do Maradu. Me I do Faraday. Catching you far away. Tell me, say she no feel let me do. Every night and day she say she no feel do. Yeah. Tell me, say she no feel let me do. Every night and day she say she no feel do. Baby girl, Gucci, Prada, loving, baby girl, all day for you. Yeah. Baby girl, Gucci, Prada, loving, Fendi, girl, all day for you. Yeah. I love day for you. You make bad man wanna I wanna do the do like Scooby-Doo. I been a baby, give me banku. Make I tell you I be talk and do anything when you want I do. Maka this your love, get boom, my baby girl, Gucci, Prada, loving, baby girl, all day for you. Yeah. Baby girl, Gucci, Prada, loving, Fendi, girl, all day for you. Yeah.
Y'all mind if I keep rocking out? Look, it's the little things in this life, like stars in the night, the wonders of might that lives beyond. Something we can't see for ourselves until we gone. The ultimate question we never won in these day-to-days. Lately been so mundane, remember shit was amazing. Maybe it's been this way, I'm just now making observations. Yeah, that shit hit like a pound of bricks. Then I look within, I wasn't pits, I'm bullish out of it. Man, I'm talking pips, for example. The way this life switch sound ways like a camel. Pack the ammo, keep on plotting. It's already coordinated, we get to watch it. Floor seats and how the soul can stop it. Like when you go with more tea, bringing more heat. Nigga think he topping this, need more sleep. I come alive in the nights like a Morpheus, yeah. We living in the Matrix, then a Morpheus, yeah. I keep the flame like Scorpion. Pack the Russian cream with the green, then I'm torching it. When I was 14, I first seen it's no far from that. I listen to your raps, dog, it sound like you forcing it. But I've been around this rap shit for years like I'm orbiting. Obi-Wan Kenobi son, I've been the one since I've been on this run. Like Forrest Gump is, except my only function. That flow is disgusting, it's it. Bring the Tuscus it, thinking you the shit, I guess I'm flushing it. But that's me on some other shit, that's when I put love in it. That's when I remember who the fuck it means I run this shit. Y'all be on some other shit, y'all don't put no love in it. I'm just having fun with it, said I just having fun with it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. One take though, and I'm making pesos, yeah. And I'm making pesos, yeah. Do what I say, no, yeah. Oh,
It's me, Ari, aka Nadia Sabe, and a whole bunch of other things that I go by. I am so excited to be back for episode 34 of the Run It Back podcast, where we just talk about everything music industry news. We review independent music and some other stuff. Just talk about this phenomenal sector of entertainment. So, getting started, as per usual, huge shout out to Innerspace Orlando for having us and for sponsoring this podcast and being the reason why it is as awesome as it is. I'm going to get pretty simply straight into it. We'll give some updates at the end, and yeah. So to get started, as we usually do, we're going to review some independent music. We have quite a bit of submissions to get through, so I'm going to go as quickly as I can through them. And as per usual, this document with all of this information, all of the music links will be in the description or the comments of whatever platform you're watching, whether that be LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitch. So if you're interested to learn more about anything that we talk about today, go find that document and continue further your research. So to start out, we have a song called Silver Lining by Elijah Rosario. So this is a pop and R&B song with a couple of hip-hop influences. It's giving kind of like that Weeknd type sound and vibe. I really like the cover art that you had, and I feel like you are branding yourself very well from what I can see. It's a little bit monotone in terms of your cadence, but overall it's a simple and catchy song. It's memorable. I want you to challenge yourself when it comes to melodies, and that's kind of where like that monotone cadence comes in. But I would just, like I said, I want you to challenge yourself, get a little bit more creative. That was the biggest like critique that I had this. You have very strong vocals in general. This was a clean mix, and there was great variation in production. So overall, good work, my friend. Just keep going, keep staying creative. The next song, we've been reviewing Phenom for the past 3 weeks now. We have a new song called Boss Talk. This isn't a new song itself, but and we're also, the link for this is the music video that came out, which is a great music video. This song like is a great example of Phenom just like rapping, like really rapping, as Flair would say it. But for real, there are bars out the ass on this song. Like, you definitely went crazy with it. I love how triumphant the sound of the song is. There's a lot of horns incorporated into the production, and it just feels it's almost like college marching band, but like when they play like some fun stuff. That's like what it was giving me, and I really love that. The video, and in conjunction with the song itself, it gives off a very like sophisticated type of vibe, and I know me and Phenom are right there with it, and I think he knows exactly what I'm trying to say. But there was obvious, like time and resources put into the video as well. It's very well executed in terms of, everything that was done. The wardrobe was great. All of the sets were great. The acting and everyone that you had involved in it was great. The editing and the shots themselves, like this was just, everyone did their job very well on this project. And yeah, go ahead and take a listen to it. I believe I'm going to be adding this to the Run It Back favorite playlist. And then I'll also be playing you on Dare to Defy Radio tomorrow. The next song that we're talking about is called A Man Like You by Kalila Shields. This is a pop R&B song. I really enjoyed the melody in the chorus. This is a very commercial song, so I can see it doing well in, sync spaces. For example, I could see it in like reality TV. I could see it in like a modern rom-com type of situation, coming of age. And I can also, in that commercial route, I could definitely see it in like beauty and self-care products or companies. Next, we're going to talk about someone very near and dear to my heart who released a song not too long ago called Let's Get to the Love. And this is an amazing R&B song by Keith Andes. If you don't know who he is, he's located here in Orlando. He's been producing for a very long time. It has a very long history in the music industry, and he's also a great friend of mine. So I'm super excited to talk about this song, especially because I am blessed with the ability to have like seen it in different stages as he was working on it, and the final product, I mean, is amazing. Like, because it's Keith, there's a very masterful like mix, and the production on it, like Variation and Ear Candy is the name of the game, and it was executed so well just because it's freaking Keith. The song is a little dirty, but it's classy. It's a very sensual song. It's called Let's Get to the Love, and that's exactly what he's talking about, is getting to the love. And the breakdown is so groovy. Like, they're just, every part of this song, I love the way that Keith produces, because there's always the gradual build, and it's not, it's never like something that's expected, you know what I mean? But once you hear it, everything fits in its pocket, and it's beautiful. So definitely go check out that song. This is another one that is going to be added to the Run It Back favorite playlist, and I'll be playing you on Dare to Defy Radio tomorrow. The next song that we have is called Method to the Madness by Jafer. This is a hip-hop song. It's reminiscent of like G-Eazy, that kind of sound. It gets a little bit repetitive, so I definitely challenge you to get creative with your flows and your rhyme schemes especially. And make sure that you update the links on your Spotify. I went and I found you, but I had to work for it. So I just recommend that you go through and make sure that what you want to be there is there. The next song we're going to talk about is called Danger Zone by J. Lou. We good? No, you good. Okay. It's called Danger Zone by J. Lou. This is an electronic pop song with some 80s influences. And it's very, once again, reminiscent of The Weeknd, just kind of in a different way than the first song that we had mentioned does. And it's very light and fun. And I appreciate that. There are some great melodies in this. You have a beautiful voice. It's a beautiful mix. Overall, it's just like in my opinion, an unequivocally good song. So yeah, good work. Definitely go check it out. The next song that we have is called Name Brand by Jairus, featuring Good Time C. Jairus is an Orlando local who, phenomenal, extremely talented. Please update both of you guys' DSP profiles for just making sure you have links in there, putting that bio in, just making sure that it's up to whatever standard you need it to be. The hook is great. I love all of the melodies just in general. You have such a distinct voice, Jairus, and that's such a great thing. And I love the way that you just attack when you step to the mic. The production goes extremely well with the vocals, and I also love just your guys' use of ad-libs. You guys did a great job. Next, we have another Orlando local called Leonie, and this song is called Move Your Body. It's a classic, like, from what I've heard from her, it's one of her songs that she does that just, like, it gets everybody excited and dancing. It's one of those infectious songs that you just want to get up and have fun. It's so groovy. The melodies are amazing all around. And Leonie just has a beautiful voice, like, that you can, and the mix is great because it's nothing is muddled. Everything, sits in its pocket, and you can hear each individual sound very well. And also you can just hear, like, the tone in her voice, which I appreciate, because seeing her live, you get that, and it's translated, which I tip my hat off to you. The next song is my favorite song of the week. There's usually always one where I'm geeked over it. Janae Paramore, another Orlando local who happened to make a song with Falair. Falair produced this track for her. And shout out to Throne Kid. We talked about him on the last episode. He engineered this song. It's called Had to Show 'Em. And when I tell you, I have had this song, I've probably played it 10 times a day. It is so fun and just like feel good inspiring, especially like if you're a girl and you like, like bad bitch music, that kind of vibe, like, and you like to listen to stuff that makes you feel like confident and up and excited. This is the song for you. Like, it's just so fun. The melodies are infectious, like, and the lyrics, like, it's just, you just feel like that bitch, you know what I'm saying? And it's great. I love it. It's also extremely memorable, which is always like, the biggest, or one of the biggest things when it comes to, those points that you want to hit. And yeah, I just needed to give it a shout out. She didn't submit it. I just have been listening to it, and I'm like, I have to talk about this. So you are going to be on the Run It Back favorite playlist, and I'm going to be playing you on Dare to Defy Radio tomorrow. Bro, I need that trio of Janae, Falaire, and Throne to continue. Y'all need to do like a whole EP, because the sound that this has, like, I'm literally obsessed with it, if you can't tell. Moving on, we have a song called Wait For Me by Mott. This is a funky indie pop song. The mix could be a little bit better. The vocals are a bit muddy and just fighting with the production, which is simple, but it's a short and it's a sweet song. It's fun. It's a very cute song. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just some of those technical things that could have been done better. We have a song called Guard Up by Taylor Rosalia Marie. This is a modern R&B song. There's great variation in this production with like ebbs and flows in terms of the way that it interacts with the vocals. It gelled very well, but at some point towards the end, it does get a little bit repetitive. The mix could be better, similar to the last song, just in terms of that muddiness, and there's a little bit of a fight there to hear what we want to, which is your vocal, the star of the show. You have a great knack for melodies, though. Like I was hearing there were some things in there that, like, the pockets that you were hitting were great and just so. I've said it before. It was like you just like sit in it. It's just very comfortable, but in a good way. And I really love the outro. All around when it comes to the monologue that you put, what was going on with the piano and just the way that it changed up. I feel like one of those things that kept us engaged, and it also just helped, make it a little bit more cinematic and give a little bit more of a storyline to it, which I appreciated. Finally, we have a song called Take You Home by Chrissy Gammon. This is a blues song. The vocals is really interesting. She almost like yodels when she sings, but not so intently. It's just you can hear that kind of, I don't know if it's an inspiration or if you like, I don't know, but I think it's pretty cool. The mix on this is good, and if you want like an example of the vibe that this has, is very like Fleetwood Mac-esque. And it's a great song. And thank you, all of you, for submitting. If you want to hear any of this music, go find this document either in the description or the comment section of wherever you are watching this. If you would like to submit for next week or for any of the podcast episodes, go ahead and send me an email at ari@dareanddefy.net. In the subject, just put the title of your song and your artist name. And if you want to send me, your social media, anything like that, or if you just want to ask a question, whatever it is, go ahead and put that in as well. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Just continuing to keep this up, especially as we have launched Dare to Defy Radio. Shout out to Magnifica Network for having me and just hosting me on their platform. So the way that, I'm working with the music that I'm playing on the radio is everything that comes through the podcast submissions will be considered for radio play. And so yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you're submitting. And yeah, we're going to move on at this point. Once again, thank you all for participating in my shenanigans. We're going to go into the My Like section, which is just a section where I talk about shit that I want to talk about that doesn't necessarily go into the predetermined categories that I have for this series. First thing, Hybe Labels has announced that it will be holding an on-site audition in collaboration with UMG, Geffen Records, for a new girl group. So if that's something that you're interested in, or maybe you're a parent who has like a 16, 17-year-old that thinks, whatever the situation may be, go find this article, see how you can get involved if that's something that you are interested in. And also, I don't know, I'm sure that they are giving this out to casting directors. If you're an agency that might have any talent that would fit the bill for this, definitely tap in if it's not on your breakdown services and you need to find another way to go about it. The next thing that we have is an interesting conversation about albums. And essentially the question, are albums, dying out? Are they a dying breed of music consumption? I'm going to read this excerpt and just talk about it a little bit. A presumption in the streaming and on-demand age might be that the idea of an album as a complete body of work is starting to feel increasingly archaic. Does this all suggest the classic album is something of a myth / misnomer, and that they are not listened to from start to finish as intended by the artists who created them? So I think this is a really interesting topic because we do definitely live and operate in a single world when it comes to the music that is being streamed the most. And I don't think that albums are a dying breed. I think that because of on-demand music and because that we are in like this singles economy, the bridge for that like fanatic, for someone to really actually want to listen to your whole album, is really the crux of everything. Because when we're talking about record stores and physical music, like if you wanted one song, you needed to go get the whole thing. And if you fucked with that one song enough, you're gonna go get it and you're gonna happen to listen to the other songs on that record. And it's similar now, it's just in a different format. So because of the fact that I have the on-demand choice to choose what I want to listen to. But what's going to happen if, I don't stop the song? I'm going to stream whatever is next and I'm going to hear it and I might end up liking it and move on and I might decide to listen to that whole album. It's just, there's just more of a barrier there because that factor of choice, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's good for consumers to have that choice. And if they only want one song off of your album, at least they're listening to that one song. But I think that another part of this is kind of like I said, like that barrier of fan and when people actually want it. So just to touch on it, I always recommend for artists, especially when they're starting out and they don't have a large fan base, that you shouldn't put out an album because you're going to spend a lot of money on production, on marketing, on labor. You're going to spend a lot of money putting together a full project if you really move forward in it in that kind of capacity. And you want to be able to release something and know that people care about it and are going to listen to the whole thing because they are fans of you. A lot of us, we have, our algorithmically driven playlists, and that's how a lot of our music discovery is made besides social media and TikTok. We are just listening to music because we like it and it sounds good instead of having that full investment in every artist that we listen to. And I think once again, it's not completely different from, when streaming was not the number one mode of consumption for music. It's just, I think, amplified and we just see it more because But with that being said, I don't think albums are dying. I just think that their purpose is shifting, and it's really, you release albums for your fans who love and care about you. And when you're a huge, superstar like Beyonce or Drake, everyone's going to listen to it. But the difference of, I guess, when or why it's important is because you have people who give a shit about it and who want to listen to it because it's you. Cool. I'm going to move on now. The music industry giant Universal Music Group has announced it's expanding its early career development program, Bonus Tracks, to Atlanta and Detroit. Bonus Tracks is a multi-week after-school program that gives the 11th and 12th grade students an immersive opportunity to learn more about the music industry. I think this is super cool. If you happen to be in Atlanta or Detroit and want to be a part of this, and once again, if you're a parent or if you're a student, definitely check this out. This is a phenomenal opportunity to be able to get those resources from, a powerhouse like UMG. Definitely go check it out. I'm trying to get involved. I would love to go in and teach some classes and shit. I love it. Moving forward, Lachi, as a black woman who was born legally blind, however, it wasn't until a couple years ago when she was told that she was going to lose her vision completely, that she slowly started to feel more comfortable with her diagnosis. Thus, she founded the organization Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities. It is a platform connecting the music, performance, events, and audio technology industries to a global network of recording artists and music professionals with disabilities. It aims to amplify disability culture, promote inclusion, visibility and representation, and advocate for accessibility in the music industry by bridging the gap between the decision makers and the disabled music talent. Ultimately, it looks to infiltrate pop culture with disability cultural narratives, as the best way to amplify culture is through music. I think this is super cool. I just came across it as I was doing research this week and wanted to give homegirl a shout out because she's doing cool stuff. If you would like to get involved or if you would like to support monetarily, whatever your heart desires, go ahead, once again, check out the document that has all the information and links for today. Moving forward, we have 2 more stories in this section before we move on. DIY booking platform Side Door is offering stipends to help artists struggling with rising costs on the road and encourage more shows in non-traditional venues. Side Door's $200 stipend might not seem like much, but it can be the difference between making it to the next gig or not for an emerging artist. If they invested the $200 in merch to sell at the gigs, it could net many more times than that. I think this is really cool. It's one of those things where it's like, if you have access to something like this, like they said, it might seem small, a measly $200, but $200, if you stretch it, can get you a far way. And exactly how they said, if they reinvested it, even if it was into like marketing the next show, or maybe you need, that $50 in gas, and now you have $150 to make sure the rest of your band eats or something like that. You know what I mean? It can go a long way, and I'm sure that it's already been helping people in tangible ways as it continues to be rolled out. If you use Side Door or you don't know about it, maybe this is your opportunity or time to go check it out. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it. I think it's really cool, and I appreciate them for taking that step and doing that. The last story in the My Like section is about R. Kelly. So I'm sure you guys know that an album was released called I Admit It. I don't want to laugh because it's not funny, but it's definitely awkward and uncomfortable. I'm going to read this excerpt, and then I'm going to talk about it very briefly, and then we're going to move on. The album was released early Friday, while the R&B, or disgraced R&B star, let's get that right, the disgraced R&B star serves prison time, was quickly yanked off of all streaming platforms. The, album called I Admit It features song titles as Freaky Sensation, I Found Love, and Good Old Days. This was initially uploaded by Universal Music Group owned distributor Ingrooves, but by mid-afternoon, the opus was removed from major services such as Spotify and Apple Music. The fact that Ingrooves put this out is really interesting. There's been updates and statements where he said he didn't have anything to do with this, but I mean, I don't know if I believe that, but you recorded them, you wrote these songs and you recorded them. And I was talking to PJ, who's one of the owners at Interspace, and just kind of my thought process of he might have been recording this shit while the trial was going on. And it's just unfortunate, and honestly, me talking about it is kind of hypocritical to what I'm about to say, but I just think that we should leave him alone, and not in that sense, but just don't forget about him. Just let's move forward and not give him more attention as I'm talking about him, like I said. But it's just the main thing to me, like I said, that's crazy is that Ingrooves thought this was a good idea. Somebody somewhere, nobody up through the chain of command was like, maybe we shouldn't release this extremely offensive, unsensitive, gross piece of work to the world. Maybe it's not a good idea. I just don't I don't understand how, like I said, this got up the chain of command and was signed off on. But with that being said, I'm gonna move forward. Don't try to find it. Don't try to listen to it. I thank God didn't hear a glimpse of anything, and I don't want to. But yeah, I figured I would bring it up briefly. We're going to move on to the industry update section. This is pretty short. We've only got 3 stories today, so let's brush through it. Amazon recently announced a brand new merch program for artists. If you've got merch to sell, Amazon Music for Artists now has everything you need to get started with a new feature on Amazon. Artists get everything from in-the-moment, on-demand merch printing and fulfillment to straight store interface. To help you out, artist teams can now get expedited approval to Amazon's print-on-demand service through their Amazon Music for Artists account. Once your first designs go live, they'll help you connect your merch to your Amazon Music profile. This is really, really cool. This is, kind of similar to things that have been in the works and going on with Spotify, but I think that the connectivity with Amazon, I think that this is going to be really easy, and I think a lot of artists are going to go in this direction and might, utilize these Amazon stores just as their manufacturing and fulfillment for all of their merchandise. I think it's going to be really convenient for people, and I think it's really cool. I think whoever, I think it's also like, it just makes sense because of the nature of Amazon. It just makes sense for this to be something that they've integrated, and I'm excited to see how it gets utilized and how helpful it can be. Like I said, I think it's going to be really convenient, and I think it's going to make things, especially for independent artists who are doing a lot of stuff by themselves, I think it's going to help take a little bit of weight off the shoulders, because dealing with manufacturers and design can be difficult. So having it streamlined is, I think, going to help a lot of people. Moving forward, TuneCore has paid more than $3 billion to artists since the company was founded in 2006. With the milestone, TuneCore now claims the crown for total payments to artists. Competitor CD Baby, which was founded in 1998, announced a $1 billion total payments in early of last year. DistroKid is believed to be at the top DIY distributor by annual volume of tracks, but has not shared payment stats. I think that last section is interesting, but I just I think that's a good update, a great update, that TuneCore has paid $3 billion out and is kind of sitting in that top position now. And I'm sure that we could, expand on why that might be. But if you would like to look into it more, go ahead and find the link for it. The last story in this section: the Association of Independent Music, or AIM, the non-profit trade association for the UK's independent music sector, announced the appointment of Sylvia Montello as the organization's new CEO. Monteo, I believe is how it's pronounced, will succeed Paul Pacifico in the leadership role, assuming oversight of AIM's operations and strategy. We're going to have some artist accomplishments. I feel like that was so weird. We are going to talk about some artist accomplishments, mainly just charts and stuff like that, so we're going to brush past it. Beyonce has taken over the airwaves. Her current single, Cut It Off, lifted from her Renaissance album, has reached number 1 in the R&B radio and urban radio. Then we have Jasmine Sullivan's Hurt Me So Good has reached number 1 on Billboard's adult R&B airplay. Beyonce's Break My Soul, the lead single from her album Renaissance, has been certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, or the RIAA. It has sold 1 million equivalent units since its summer release. Then we have Drake has been crowned the highest certified singles artist in RIAA history, eclipsing fellow commercial juggernaut Eminem. And then finally, SZA's SOS soars to number 1 worldwide on iTunes and top Apple Music charts of 50 countries, in over 50 countries, including the US. Shout out to SZA, SZAlations. I haven't even listened to the whole thing yet, which I need to, but I'm excited for it. I know that she's had the internet in a freaking frenzy with it, and the clips that I have heard are phenomenal. So I'm excited to really sit with it in these next couple of days and be able to juice it in, take it in. SZA is definitely one of those. I know a lot of just young women in my generation, we love that bitch because she speaks to our soul, and I'm excited to like I said, just sit with it and unpack some shit with my good sis. Next, we're going to move into the deals, partnerships, and acquisition section. And once again, keeping it short with all these sections today, which I'm happy about. First up, SoundCloud has a new partner, Atlanta-based Third and Hayden, which combines label publishing and management, whose founder, Key Henderson, played a key role in the breakthrough success of artist 21 Savage. The JV will focus on A&R, marketing, PR, distribution, and other services, and is described as being a part of SoundCloud's roster businesses. Next, we have BMG has acquired Again. The company has bought the rights to the catalog of Grammy Award-winning, multi-platinum selling singer-songwriter Peter Frampton. This is terrible, but I have to plug my computer in. So give me 3 seconds before I move forward. But I feel like it would be worse for my computer to die than it is going to be for me to get up real quick and plug it in. So, boom, boom, boom. Oh my goodness. This is not good. This is not good. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. This is unprepared at its finest. Let's see. Need some length. All right. Moving forward. Maybe I'll stand up. Yeah, I'm going to stand up for a little bit, get my body moving. All right. Record label conglomerate Warner Music Group partnered with LGND.io and Polygon companies to launch Legend Music. Through the platform, songs and other digital collectibles called Virtual Vinyl will be offered at NFTs. Legend will launch in January of 2023, starting with Warner Music Group dance record label Spinnin' Records. I think this is pretty cool. Just continuing to like update about Web3 and what's going on in that sphere of things, and especially how majors are moving around it. And then finally, we are talking about music creator platform United Masters recently partnering with Intel to remix Intel's iconic 5-note audio signature. With submissions from emerging artists, producers worldwide, United Masters community of up-and-coming producers completed to bring Intel's audio signature into the future. As select users who pay an annual subscription for extra services and opportunities on the platform, these producers will be able to tap into this exclusive opportunities to submit beats as a part of this open call challenge. If you're on United Masters and you pay for whatever you pay for, go ahead. If you can't tell, I kind of have like a gripe with United Masters. But anyways, if you are someone who is eligible for this and is something that you're interested in, definitely check it out. Make sure that you're getting what you're owed, and even if it's in relationships and being able to kind of break into sync with something like this, go check it out and participate. I think it's a cool thing. Just like I said, make sure you got somebody to look over, the contracts and just keep everything clean. We have 3 legal stories today, and then just one more, and then we're done. Firstly, Drake has scored a legal victory in a copyright lawsuit over his 2021 hit Way Too Sexy, due in part to what the court calls repeated misconduct by the plaintiff. According to All Hip Hop, while waiting for a decision on the lawsuit, rapper Angelo Skywalker sent a series of inappropriate emails both to the prosecutors and the U.S. District Judge Colleen Cottley. God damn. Let's say that again. Colleen Cottley is this judge's name. That is phenomenal. Who presided over the case in Washington, D.C. He's also accused of filing no less than 50 irrelevant motions. So essentially, it's actually interesting because even though he probably did have a case here, he just like acted an ass, and the courts were like, you know what, you don't deserve to get your cut or your revocation of this song, whatever. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with that and think that that's okay. I don't think that that's okay. But interesting, cool stuff. I know that had been talked about for a while, and something that people were talking about, like I said. So just continuing to update it, but there's nothing now because they threw the case out. Next, we have a step-by-step. The American Music Fairness Act is working its way through the U.S. legislative system. The bill would introduce sound recording performance royalties for music played by terrestrial radio stations, the lack of which has been long a bugbear for the music industry. But yesterday, the act was approved by the House Judiciary Committee, which means that now we'll move on to the next step in this process of getting it instated, which will be consideration by the House of Representatives. So let's definitely keep up on this. It would be a huge change. So definitely something that we want to stay up to date on. And then finally, this one we talked about like a really long time ago on the podcast, but that's, how court systems and shit like that works. As reported in Spin Magazine, Spencer Eldon has appealed his suit against the Universal Music Group, the surviving members of the band, and other parties after a judge dismissed the suit without prejudice on September 2nd over a 10-year statute of limitations for his claim of child pornography. This, what we're talking about is Nirvana's cover with the naked baby on it. The naked baby sued Nirvana and UMG and was like, I'm a naked baby on this cover, and that's not okay. This is child porn. Where's my money? And then it was thrown out because it's, in my opinion, it's not. It's like, there's nothing sexual about the cover. It's just a naked baby. And if you think that there's something sexual with that, I think you have a problem. But yeah, he's trying to appeal it, but I don't see it going anywhere. Moving forward, we have one death that I am going to touch on. Jim Stewart, the white country fiddler whose powerhouse R&B soul label Stax Records launched such stars as Otis Redding, Isaac Hayes, and Sam and Dave, has died at the age of 92 in Memphis, Tennessee, where he started his label in the 50s. Yeah. As per usual, I offer my condolences to anyone who is a fan, family, friend, any of those things. If you want to learn more about who he was, go check out the article and start your process of research. But that is it for today, you guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Just to reiterate, if you want to learn anything more about what we've talked about today, whether it be music or the news stories, go ahead into either the description or the comment section of whatever platform you're watching this on, and there should be a link for a Google document with all of the information. If you would like to submit music for review, go ahead and send me an email with a Spotify or YouTube link. Please don't send me a file. If I need one from you, I will ask for it. But yeah, a YouTube or Spotify link, email at ari@darendefy.net. Just put your artist name and the title of your song in the subject, and I will fit you into some podcast episode. If there's any specific story that you want me to touch on, or if you have any specific questions for me, same thing. Send me a DM or send me an email, just, letting me know what you want to talk about. If you have a news story, you have a specific link that you want to share with me, that's very helpful. That would be much appreciated. With that being said, I will see you guys next week. Pretty cool, pretty short episode. We were able to get through everything pretty quickly. I hope you all enjoyed, found it helpful. Quick updates before I leave. This Friday, I am having a workshop all about EPKs, one sheets, and sizzle videos. So just essentially digital media that you need as an independent artist. We're going to be doing just examples, breakdowns, and we'll probably make one together. So with that being said, if you are not busy at 4 p.m. Eastern time this Friday upcoming, I do have ticket links in my bio for in-person and online access. So come hang out, let's learn about the music industry and connect with each other. I would love to have you be a part of it. Anything else? We have Spotlight Orlando coming up on the 18th. So if you're an Orlando local, or if you are in the Central Florida or Florida area, you want to see some independent artists, and come say hi because I will be working. Come through to Spotlight Reloaded. You'll be able to follow the page spotlight.reloaded for all updates and things like that. Or tap in with me. I'll have information, all that good stuff. But yeah, those are my updates. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one. Bye.
You a cookie cutter guy, didn't think he was your type. I know you can do better, babe. You can do better, baby. I know you can. Ooh, there's so many different ways that we could have ended, but oh no, many different ways. You chose this, and I hope it leaves you. I hope you'll see how it felt when you walked out on me. Cry me a river, crawl back to me. I'll use your tears to wash my feet. I hope that he leaves you. Oh baby, I hope that he leaves you. Yeah. You used to be my cinnamon apple. You meant the world to me. I always put you right.